Man, this market just keeps going, huh? 488. LVTX, I know that one was one. Another day. It's another day. PSCA. PCSA. PCSA is ripping. PCSA. Volume's still kind of light, actually. I don't know. Up to 300,000 there, so that's pretty decent, actually. XSTC. So we have quite a few gappers here today. Market's warm, man. Market's definitely warm. ONCO. Let's see this one. ONCO. Penny stock. ONCO is our penny stock gapper today. We have PCSA. We have LVTX. We have XXTC. And what's CISS? I think market's getting hot, man. Damn, there's a lot of gappers today. A lot of gappers. What's up, G? The green trader, what's up? We'll go through these gappers in a second. Just kind of reviewing all the news and the floats and the daily charts. We'll just wait for everyone to get in here first, and then we'll start. PCSA. Oh. Okay, there we go. All right, so let's take a look here through the gappers today. So first we'll go over through, since we have PCSA up, we'll start with PCSA. Looks like our news catalyst. Processa, which is the company Processa Pharmaceuticals, announces completion of phase 1B safety evaluation of its NGC cap in patients with advanced cancer, resulting in recommend phase 2 doses. Successful completion of phase 1B study. Okay. Process equity offering. Oh, okay. This is a couple days ago. 3 days ago, I had an offering. Looks like today it comes out with news. for the successful completion of phase 1B. Phase 1 is pretty decent. Phase 1's pretty decent. Once it starts to get to phase 2 and phase 3, it's when it really starts to get nice, because the statistic of successful completion between phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3. Phase 1 has a higher percentage chance for these companies to pass. Phase 2 is harder, and then phase 3 is less likely. So, but phase 1B, seems like market is reacting quite well. You can take a look here at the, looks like the float is looking like 1.04. So 1 million shares float outstanding, or no, 1 million float and 1.23 million outstanding. So pretty decently low float there. We can take a look at the daily chart. Looks like it's a bottom bounce. Looks like it's been selling off for quite a while. Now we're making new lows, especially after that offering. This is definitely probably when we had that offering on this stock. Yeah, 122. Sold off all the way down to $2, and now we're having a bottom bounce. So it's potential. It's potential. It's similar. It's similar. Take a look at this, to this pattern. Let's take a look. What stock did we trade yesterday? We traded, what was that stock again? I forget. I already forget. Is it How did I already forget this stock? It's got to be on my side screen here. Let's see. No, it's not on my side screen. I didn't even had my sip of coffee yet. So let me pull up my videos here. EVAX. I knew it started with an E. I always forget the stock sometimes. So EVAX, similar pattern here. Take a look here. EVAX selling off to the lows, similar daily chart, downtrending, selling off, making new lows, curling up on good news, and squeezing through its recent high. Its recent high, which would be around 875. So selling off, curling back up. That's something that we could see today here on PCSA. So we do have good news, and we made a new low. We have high volume coming in. It's a low float, so we could see a target. Man, this would be aggressive, but if we can break 768, I guess that would be the squeeze up through, I would say at first 620. Looks like we had some resistance there. This is where we're topping out here, 74, which is the low point of that previous candle down here. And then I guess we'd have another resistance area here. So these are my levels here for PCSA. We can go through now ONCO. ONCO. I don't see any news on this. No news ticker on ONCO, but it's already, had some decent volume, had a decent move. Closed at 16 cents. We're up now at 42 cents. So decent move there. Decent move. Looks like the float. Let's see on ONCO. I'm using dilution tracker now for today. I just wanted to test it out. But here's a float. You have to sign up for the free version, and then you can see the float. 12.56 million shares. The reason I'm using dilution tracker is because it also gives you potential warrants on the market, where you can take a look here at the exercise price, the warrants that were issued. Also potential shelf offerings as well. So it looks like they have a registered shelf offering, shelf capacity of 100 million. Looks like PCSA is moving up. I'm just not sure if this has already been used or if it's still like kind of It says registered, but I'm not sure if it's already been sent onto the market, like it's already been, you know, sold out into the market, or if it's like still has yet to go through. I assume they still haven't used it since it's still kind of sitting there. Yeah, because here it says completed offerings. It looks like, yeah. Yeah, float 12 million on ONCO, which is pretty decent. The daily chart, let's see here. Yeah, it looks like we're clearing a lot of these highs in this area, but heavy downtrend there. I think we can probably see 50 cents on this today. We'll see it break at 50 on this one, maybe. As long as it holds up, PCSA here, making a nice move, increasing volume. Market's definitely warm. I like PCSA because it's that similar pattern that we saw on EVAX, breaking down new lows and curling up through the recent high. You could see that move. So I want to keep it on watch. Looks like 10K seller there at 66. I think I'll trade this small size here. I don't want to jump into, I think it's going to be too early here. Still a little extended. I want to see a dip down to 50 here. Under 50 would be ideal. We just got that test of 50. Looks like we held up pretty nice there. The low there is at 51. ONCO also breaking through the high. Looks like we're testing 50 again. Might break here. Oh, looks like we're held there. 49. Wow, beautiful there. Wow, I should have took that entry there at 50. We broke down below 50 and we held 49 with a nice bid. Should have grabbed 50 and been selling here at 360. That would be a nice scalp. LVTX. Let's take a look at LVTX. This one looks like, let's see if we have news on this one. Lava Therapeutics rise on a drug test for Merck's Keytruda. Whatever that means. Lava Therapeutic announced collaboration with Merck. Collaborations, partnerships, agreements with bigger companies, companies that are very well known, are huge. Huge catalyst. Everyone knows Merck. Everyone knows Merck. Lava Therapeutics, no one knows who the hell Lava Therapeutics is. But if this small company that has a low float that nobody knows about, you know, publishes news that they're having a collaboration or sort of an agreement or a partnership with Merck, people are going to start jumping in on this, which we already did see. We saw a nice move there from 150 up to 274. We could have more in the tank for this thing. We'll take a look at the daily chart in a moment. Okay. Let's take a look here at the float. LVTX. Oof. Float is showing 26 million. That's not good. So a little bit larger float. So I'm not sure if this is going to have continuation, because unless it's massive volume, it's also not going to move like a low float. It's going to move, a little bit more like a large, a larger company, a large float. It might move slower. You might need to give it a little bit more patience. It does have 26 million shares. LVTX daily chart. Looks like we saw some resistance in this area. It's actually not too bad. I don't know if it's going to make it all up to 379. I mean, it is a larger float. So. But we'll keep this on watch. I'll put an alert here at 250. If it does break 250, I'd be interested. ONCO is still kind of inching higher there. XSTC. What's going on, Baja Express? XSTC, no news. But it is a microfloat. XSTC 0.59 million share float. Looks like we had a massive rejection back here. So I'm not sure. I don't really like the daily chart on this because it's every time it pops up, it drops. Pops up, drops, pops up, drops. That's what I expect that's going to happen today. I don't think this is going to curl back up. If it does, I'll put an alert here. Yeah, everything's a little choppy. But I think the market's a little warm. However, I think it's because we have a lot of gappers, the attention is a little bit scattered. Because we have LVTX, we have PCSA, we have ONCO. So 3 decent gappers. Yeah, PCSA got choppy there, huh? I got a couple questions on my last video. I don't know if they're here right now, but I can go through the questions. Actually, very good questions. Very good questions. All right, can you please explain a little bit more on how you time your entry as spread when spread is so high? So, when the spread is high, you kind of just have to. You really can't do much about it. You kind of just have to trade and pray that you're going to get a good fill. That's just part of it. When trading a large spread, but you have to be a lot more precise with your entries, because if you can catch a nice dip coming down, a lot of times as price is coming down and you're buying the dip, you're going to get filled more towards the bid, and if you're buying as price is coming up, you're going to get filled more towards the ask. That's usually the trend of how I see my fills. Is if as long as I buy market as price is coming down, I usually get filled towards the bid side. But if it's going up, I usually get filled towards the ask. So as long as I can keep that in mind and only buy extended dips like off this area or down here, I can get pretty decent fills. And then also like key areas where shorts are getting squeezed, so like right here would be a good entry because it has a high probability. We're having that red to green move that previously failed but didn't break down, and now we're finally curling back up. So this is a high probability trade. But after the halt, this is where the spread really opened up. So this is where you gotta be careful. And I didn't really trade much on this candle. You can try to catch the dip in the pop, but even still, like, you gotta pray that you just get a good fill. It's really tough. There's nothing you can really do other than you can try sitting on the bid, try buying the bid, but what you're going to find is that you're not going to get filled. You can try doing offsets, which is a little bit better. You might get filled with using a bid offset if you have Dash Trader or a broker that does that. But more often than not, like, I'm just biting the bullet and sending that on market order. And a lot of the times, because the spread is big, the price can move a lot faster and a lot farther than if the spread was tighter. So, the spread may be 10 cents, but if you get your winning trade, you're capturing potentially 30 or 40 cents on your winning trade, which can offset that risk that you're taking on the spread. And you can also size down as well. So there's other ways to kind of manage your risk if you want to do just market orders. But a lot of the times, man, like, I can't control when I'm getting filled, and I just Just pray to the Lord that I'm getting a good fill. And sometimes on the exit, you get a really good fill. Here on the halt resumption, I got filled at the high here at 11.12, and the bid was showing 10.60. So the spread was 50 cents, and I was getting filled on the ask on a sell market order. So, sometimes you can get lucky like that. So it kind of goes both ways, It can work for you, and it can also work against you, and you can't really control it. But LVTX curling up here. Take that off. Next question was, how do you differentiate between a sell-off and a false breakdown? And do you only use market orders? So yeah, I usually only use market orders unless like the spread is really wide. Like if we're trading DWAC, if I'm trading DWAC, I am trading limit or markets, not market orders, but bid, sitting on the bid, limit orders on the bid, because I could be taking a $2 loss just on the spread. It really depends, on the spread. I mean, 10 cents a spread is not too bad. Once it starts to get to 50 cents, $1 a share, $2 a share spread on like DWAC, then I would do limit orders. But most of the time, I'm on market. And can you explain? He said, can you differentiate it between a sell-off and a false breakdown? A lot of the time, that's just going to be with your tape reading skills, your level 2 skills, and reading the volume. So an example on the EVAX. The reason I thought this wasn't going to be a breakdown is because you had that false breakout. It was on high volume, but it was an extended dip. It was now $1.50 a share. Coming off of the highs. Where's the last candle you see $1.50 share? You don't. There's no $1.50 share candle. Well, I mean, maybe this one, but still, again, an extended dip buy. So on a $1.50 share sell-off, and if there's no news, that's an extended dip buy. That is oversold. So that's where you can kind of anticipate a bounce. I mean, EVAX could close lower and just dump even more without any bounce. That's totally possible. That's why you only risk break even. But what we saw and what I was expecting is, we break that support area, and then you can see on the tape that it hesitates here. It hangs there out here for 65 for just 2 seconds. It holds that price for 2 seconds, and the tape keeps going through. And it's a lot of green, and that's how you can see, wow, there's buyers here. That's where I jump in. And then you catch that quick 20, 30 cent pop. But if it would just kind of blew right through, it wouldn't even give me the opportunity to buy at 60. It would just blow right through. And then maybe I'd see a dip maybe down here at 820 instead, and see if it hesitates at 820 and then grab it. So it really has to do with level 2, tape, volume. A lot of times, like on this dip here, we broke down, but the volume was low. So if the volume is low, you can anticipate a potential reversal, because we did have some support in here. So buyers could come in there, and if the volume is low, it's a lot more of an indication that the selling is slowing down. And then you look for that hesitation in price or the bottoming and tail, and that's where you can get that reversal. But I'm only risking break even pretty much, or 5 cent loss. And that's how, even if I'm wrong, even if the price does close lower and continue lower, I can get out break even or a small loss. And that's how I'm able to keep my losses tight. So it's tough. It's tough though. It it really comes down to, like, that false breakdown setup really comes down to just watching them over and over and over and over and over again, because there's a small nuance of price, the difference in the price action between the breakdown, the real breakdown, and the false breakdown. It's such a small nuance in the level 2, in the tape, in the volume, in the price action, the candlestick formation. It's very subtle difference. So you just got to watch it over and over and over again. Just observation. And just through observation, you'll get that, like, intuitive feel of, oh man, this might be a reversal, or this is not going to continue lower. It's very intuitive after you watch it so many times. Another reason why I really like my trading style is because it doesn't give me time to think. Because I always think, if I have time to think, I'll always think myself out of the trade. Because if I let myself sit on my hands and think too long, I'll always mess up the trade. So I like the quick, intuitive scalps because it just gets me into a flow state, and I don't get in my own way of, thinking myself out of the trade. And that's like that's like a big problem with me, because I just overthink everything. So this trading style, completely throws that out of the window. It's like, it's all intuitive, it's all quick, fast reaction time, and it's all just kind of, subtle nuance, reading subtle nuances in the market, acting on impulse, I wouldn't say on impulse, but on intuitive information, and not like holding too long to where I can think myself out of the trade. Resistance on PCSA appears to be at 272. Could we test at the open? Yeah. PCS, you mean at 374? LVTX, that's still kind of just ranging here. I'll put that alert back at 250. I thought it would break 250, but if we can hold here, PCSA, if we can hold these lows, then we're looking good. But if we're gonna consolidate lower, then that's probably not good. But we gotta hang around VWAP here. Maybe we'll see a retest of the highs. But I like this for my main watch here, PCSA. It's got a low float, has news on it. Is this the one with the partnership with Merck? No, this is not. So it looks like it had the completion with phase 1B safety evaluation in patients. So pretty decent. It's okay. I think it's good enough. Good enough. So I'm going to add this to my watch list here in the Discord. Watch list. I'm going to post here in the watch list. PCSA, LVTX, and ONCO. Those are my three. Oh, I put PNCO, ONCO. All right, I am going to get geared up for the open. Hit that thumbs up button for me on the way out. Hit that subscribe button if you're a new viewer. Hopefully you guys get green today. Yeah, PCSA is going to be the main watch here. Stay green, stay disciplined. Don't chase, don't average down. Follow your rules, and I'll see you guys on the flip side. All right.